I was sick and getting sicker from March of 2000 to finally in September I got diagnosed. I saw many specialists during that time. I had very odd symptoms. I didn't present with lymphoma according to the rules. I found a lump in my breast in August, and they removed it on August 8th, and I never heard a thing until September 1st, and then the surgeon's office called and said he wants to see you within an hour. I started at another hospital, and a friend of mine, her husband he was a liver transplant surgeon here at the Med Center, and he called me when he found out what I had and said, do you know we have the world's leading lymphoma research team right here at the Med Center? I said, no, I had no idea. And he said, well, if I were you, I would want a doctor that specialized in the type of cancer I had rather than a little bit of every kind of cancer. And he said, would you like me to make you an appointment with one of them? And then once we came and met Dr. Vos, she took us on a quick tour through here and introduced me to my care coordinator. You just feel at home when you were here. And I turned around and just looked at my husband Pat and said, I'm home. This is where I want to be. So I started my journey here, did a clinical trial on Dr. Vos's recommendation, which is now standard treatment for non-Hodgkin's. It's included in the normal protocol. My sister-in-law got diagnosed last fall with non-Hodgkin's, and so she came to Dr. Vos, and she called me after her first treatment and said, you know that drug Rituxan that you said you did a clinical trial on, I'm getting it. And she said, I thought when they were giving it to me, it's because of people like Peg that I'm able to have this, and hopefully I'll be able to beat this, which she did, and so she's in remission. And then I stayed in remission until the fall of 2004. Got a terrible headache. Our son had just been deployed to Iraq September 28th, and he was calling home, being shot at quite regularly. He was in convoys. I got diagnosed October 5th with the brain tumor. And Pat had taken me to that other hospital because that's where our general practitioner goes, thinking that I had had a stroke. Our family doctor was introducing me to a neurologist that he had called in because they were going to have to biopsy this brain tumor that they saw. And I guess I said, no, you're not. If it's a tumor, I'm going back to Dr. Vos and she'll take care of it. And they had me come right in. And so my second journey began. Went through treatment all that winter. And then in January, Dr. Vos decided I needed a stem cell transplant just to be sure because it had come back so aggressively. I had a transplant March 7th. And in the meantime, our son, the day I got out from my transplant, which was March 21st, my husband came in my room here to take me home, and he had tears just rolling down his face. And I said, oh, Lord, it's Terry, isn't it? He had been shot. He kept saying to me, he's going to be okay, he's going to be okay. It ended up being enough that he was brought home. And so we got to heal together. And all that winter when he'd call home, he'd say, Mom, you keep your head up and I'll keep my head down. And it all worked out. That's right, it all worked out. The more I volunteer here, the more I meet patients that are going through what I went through, it just renews my belief that, and I tell everybody I talk to that the Med Center performs miracles every day, and you could be one of them. I certainly am, twice over. How many people in the history of the world can come to a place like this and get life renewed, you know, get a second, third chance at life? And the people that come here from all over the world that I have met would say the same thing. They cannot believe the difference in this place compared to where they're from. The support you get here and the encouragement, and every bump you hit in the road back to health, they have something that they can do to help you through that. Day after day after day, I am thankful every day for what they did for me and for what I can do to bring other people here. I talk about this place all the time.